You are about to listen to a revised group coaching session in my beautiful, gorgeous, amazing, perfect program, Hybrid Hub. It is a combination of a course and a group coaching program and community for hybrid photographers and videographers to scale their business. The snippets you'll hear in this podcast are hopefully valuable, but they don't show how supportive and funny and smart and beautiful, gorgeous, Larry's perfect the members of Hybrid Hub actually are during these calls. If at any point you're like, oh my God, I have to join Hybrid Hub, I have to get in this room, I totally get it. So you can either book a free one-on-one strategy call to see what your next steps are for scaling your photo video business, or just join at the link below. I want to make sure that Hybrid Hub is the right fit for you, so I highly encourage the one-on-one call. But with that said, let's get right into the episode. Oh my gosh, this is the hottest group alive. I'm obsessed with all of you. Is Tiffany Gashower Banks? She is. Hello and welcome, and thank you so much for giving me your evening tonight. Honestly, just watching you all start to consume the content, and I mean, Abby especially, you're going hard on posting the homework right away. Holy hell. We
I'm
have
digging
beautiful.
in.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's so fun. Welcome to Hybrid Hub. This is the first call, and it makes me want to cry a bit. Just knowing how hard I hustled you all to get you in here to pay for me being able to put this program on. So thank you so much for joining me. I know as a small business owner, as a mother, as someone with multiple businesses and a big life, I know how hard it is to dedicate your time and your money to anything in your business and how hard it is to invest in yourself. Time and money are the most precious assets that you have in your business. So I do not take it lightly at all whenever you spend it with me. And I'll say it over and over and over again. And it is my sincere intention and goal that by taking the steps in this program, by doing the homework, by listening to my dumbass telling you that you have to do everything in order and make sure that you're actually implementing, you're going to make this money 10 to 20 to 30 times over. And I just know by stalking all of you and your businesses as creepily as I do that there's not a shortage of talent with any of you. And you all have such strong, unique voices, and you all care about your people so much that just putting the pieces together and doing what it takes to get seen and to upsell these offers, you are going to make your income goals. I'm not even worried about that. So now it's just diving in and staying really consistent and really trusting the process and doing the work all together in community, being your gentle, hilarious, funny, hardworking selves. We are together going to get all of you to the goals you have for your businesses this year. So far this week, we've dripped out phase one, and phase one is all about mechanics. So you're learning, you're dedicating yourself to whatever medium you chose. You'll declare that in the space when you're ready. You're going over the shooting mechanics, so not only the settings you need to know, we're keeping it really basic in here, but also practicing. So learning the storytelling system, integrating that into your actual client workflow. I want to see those clips. I'm not even kidding. Abby already uploaded hers for me, but I want to see what you guys are shooting. If you have a shoot already that satisfies the homework requirements, stick it in that space. I want to go over it with you so that you feel confident going into phase two. Phase two is also up, and phase two is editing. This is where I lose a lot of you. A lot of you are already like, oh no, I don't want to do editing. Um, I keep it so stupid simple. If you know me, I'm literally a raccoon with a camera. I'm a raccoon with a laptop. If I can do this, I swear that you can do this. I promise. Um, and then I also want you to know we're trying to do less PDFs in this program with a ton of technical language and more like brain dumpy checklists where you can literally check things off in these Google Docs as you go. So there's literally no reason between these dumb Google Docs and between the community space and between these calls that you can't get through whatever's blocking you. Tonight, what just posted was phase three. And phase three is all about crafting your offer. So even if you're a little bit ahead and you're already selling video, it's time to refine your offers to make sure you're pricing yourself in a way where you can actually make a living And it's time to add these offers to your pricing guide, make it super visible and obvious on your website and obvious on your socials that you sell video. Abby says, honestly, so helpful. She needs the accountability. Same, same. I need you guys too. So you might be seeing these phases drip out every day, and you're like, holy shit, am I supposed to be like doing all of these lessons every single day? No, absolutely not. Give yourself a week or two between phases if you need it, but don't ghost the community. Don't ghost these calls. Like, I want to hear from you every day. And as far as these calls go, I want to hear from everybody. I want to the structure of how I want you to present anything is what you're trying to achieve, and I want you to follow up with what's blocking you. So if I'm saying right now, my main goal for the next week is to get the hybrid hangout website updated, I'd say what's blocking me is not having a lot of brand assets with just me in them. And so then we can all come to a solution together. So maybe Rachel would pipe in and say, just cut your best friend and old business partner out of the photos. And I'd be like, that's a psychotic suggestion, Rachel, but thank you so much. So I want this to be really collaborative. So the format is always what I'm trying to achieve, what's blocking me. Now, with all of that said, I'm really, really, really excited to hear from all of you. This first student is portfolio building and trying to figure out her workflow for shooting a higher quantity of clips during her photo sessions. In this practicing phase, I hear from a lot of photographers that they're scared of making their clients feel weird while they're trying to hybrid shoot both, or in this practicing phase, they're like shooting video without even telling their clients, which I think is hilarious and so cute. And then they come away from practicing being like, oh, my clients didn't even notice this switch. So I want you to feel really empowered to practice during your client shoots, and most of the time they won't even notice that you're hybrid shooting photo and video. The next student is struggling with shutting down and overthinking and feeling super pulled towards Super 8, but completely shuts down and falls into full frustration when it's time to edit. She feels overwhelmed and frustrated in general, and like she should already know how to do this, so there's a little bit of shame in there too. On a tactical level, the student wanted to know if I'm literally switching from photo mode to video mode, or if I use two cameras for photo and video. Yeah, I feel that way all the time. And there were 4 other people nodding along as you were saying that, Katie. So you're not alone. And it is overwhelming because you open up Premiere Pro and there's like 50,000 panels and 100,000 tools you can use. And the thing about Premiere is that it's used for big budget Hollywood films. Like, I don't even scratch the surface of everything this program can do. And so what I hear time and time and time again from tons of photographers is they open up Premiere and they see everything that they could be doing with it, and they feel overwhelmed because it's almost like they should be knowledgeable in every single panel and tool. Whereas in this program, I really just want to scale that back and pare it down to 2 tools. So the selection tool and the razor tool. And when you go through that big, long, boring editing tutorial, you'll see that's basically all we're using, right? And then I also today posted a bonus lesson literally for you, Katie, where I just sat down and I busted out a Super 8 film in like 30 minutes. And you can put it on 2 times speed. You can watch me edit this honkin' thing in 15 minutes if you want to, and just see how dumb we can make it. And I also put the system, it's not only in a PDF with like that labels how Premiere Pro is used in the system, but I also put it in a Google Doc. My kids are yelling while watching Grinch. I'm so sorry. I also put it in the Google Doc where it's literally check boxes. You'll open up this program, check. You make your sequence, check. You put your footage, you import your media, put it into your timeline, check. You cull through with the razor tool, cut out everything you won't use, check. And so my hope here is if we distill it into these little steps and you just have to check off one thing at a time, then God, we can stop beating ourselves up for not knowing everything and not having a film done in the 20 minutes we gave ourselves on the calendar. We can instead get that little dopamine spike whenever we hit those check boxes because we can see what we're actually doing. We're actually systemizing this editing. And I promise you, if you just do it, you will get faster. Like, it's just one of those things. You're a yoga instructor, so you had to train to do that. Like, were you able to do a headstand right away?
Or sit still for that matter? No.
Oh God. I go to a yoga class and the whole time I'm like sweating and like doing all the moves wrong and just wondering when the part comes where I get to lay on my back and they put like a lavender scented sandbag over my eyes. That's all
Mm.
I'm there for. But it's a system, right? So the more you do it, the easier it gets. To that point, Super 8's just expensive. It's expensive to practice. And so I do want everyone to keep their minds open to consistently practicing with the camera you're using for photos. I chatted about this with Rachel a little bit today because you missed a clip on Super 8 that you thought you got. If we get comfortable hybrid shooting with our photo camera as well, then you also have some redundancy with your clips. So in this practicing phase, it gets you more opportunities to practice editing because you're not like waiting for your Super 8 to develop. But also, when you start working with clients, it gives you some more redundancy to where if you missed an important moment on Super 8, hopefully you have that moment on digital
Mhm.
video, you know? So that's my 2 cents about that. Anything else, Katie, before we move on? Does that feel good?
Uh, Absolutely. I was going to say this might get covered later on, but because I've never, or I have yet, to try to hybrid digital photo and digital video, are you using two different cameras? Or are you literally switching from still to video?
Literally switching from still to video.
Okay.
And then the question after that comes of like, oh, don't you miss something, Shay? Yeah, usually. So in client communication, it's always never promising time-sensitive moments, and then feeling good about switching during more controlled moments like posing. And when you're posing, it's easy to be like, oh, that's cute, do it again, and switch to video if you have to. But even during time-sensitive moments, um, I'm usually able to get at least like the tail end of something cute that they did with one or the other. You get faster the more you do it. As this is for everybody, as you go through these lessons, I imagine the editing lessons being the sticking point for most people. So it is totally appropriate to just spam the community with your questions, and I will send you Loom videos in response. Literally, Rachel noticed this. I think I sent a tutorial after Montana that she was our last retreat where that she was working from to practice video editing. She sends me an Instagram DM and goes, "How are you editing to waveforms? I can't see them." And I was like, "Did I not teach you how to zoom in on the timeline?" And so I had to send her a video of how to zoom in on the timeline. So things slip through the cracks all the time. It's totally appropriate to ask whatever questions you have, even if they seem stupid, because I guarantee someone else has that question. This next photographer is the sweetest person on planet Earth, and she mentioned that my education business rebrand made her want to jump into the next thing I was doing. I'm obsessed with you. There's a few things I love about that. First of all, you're probably the only person in my orbit right now that's like, I actually was paying attention to everything that went wrong in your education business this year, and it made me want to join. It's like, oh, okay, great. Second of all, you're the only educator who hasn't told me I'm not allowed to use the word bullying anymore. My
Well,
husband
I don't
is
have to do the investigation or write the 30-page packet afterwards, so I'm here for it. Use it all you want, sis.
I'm obsessed with you. My husband's an educator and he's like, Shay, like that's really not a good word to use. Like, why do you keep saying it? I'm like, they get it. They get I'm joking. It's fine. I think you're so fucking talented, Brianna. I'm mostly just excited to see it come together. So I'm selfishly hoping you use your Italy clips for your phase 1 homework so I can like drool over them and then you get to practice editing with those in phase 2.
That's perfect.
And then as someone who's already practiced the technical side, I feel like the shooting part won't be that scary for you. I think it's really just going to turn into how are you going to say what you want to say with video because you'll
Mhm.
see how it translates to the edit. And then it really turns into how does my voice and my storytelling style come through in the way I'm shooting this and the way I'm editing this. I think a fun way to think about it in these practicing phases. I know you got some audio in Italy, but for the rest of you, because I always want these answers to make sense for everyone. What we're editing in this practicing phase, if you're not getting audio at your shoots, to me is a glorified slideshow. Like you're picking music and you're rearranging clips and putting it to the beat of music. So then it becomes, how do I tell an effective story with a format that's this simple? And to me, The way I like to think about it for photographers is I think you're already doing this anytime you're making one of those aesthetic carousels on Instagram. So, like when you're laying out all your photos for an Instagram carousel, it's not always fully chronological, right? You're trying to lay out these photos in a way that tells a really compelling story, but still tells a fully cohesive story, a well-rounded story to where anyone could scroll through these carousels and really get what the full day looked like from your point of view. That is exactly what we're doing when we're rearranging these clips on our timeline to tell a really concise, fully rounded story, basically as a like a moving slideshow. So as we're practicing shooting and editing, as we're finding our voice and our storytelling style, I really want to invite you all to just find it fun. And to just find the joy in this season of practice and to just encourage yourselves to not be overwhelmed. How does that feel, Brie?
Feels good.
Okay, beautiful, gorgeous. What time is it there? It's just now getting dark.
It's 3:20. It's a little rainy where
Oh, oh,
I'm at.
it's not getting dark. Okay.
No,
Okay, I'll learn your
not yet.
time zone eventually. This next student shared that she just wants to dive in and start upselling video more. Awesome. You've got it. And then as you keep going through phase one, like there will be specific things to turn in. Not for Abby. She's done apparently with phase one. But yeah, everything should be so specific, so easy. And I'm just excited to have you. I'm really, really honored you're here. Basically, Tiffany's main goal is to really target like the western part of the United States for elopements.
Yeah.
And it's going to be sick. I think targeting and combining that strategy with video marketing is so smart. It's going to work. This student is a serial course taker with a really busy life and family, and she struggles with overthinking and perfectionism and falling behind with growing her business. I think speed sometimes is the wrong goal when you're in a season of having a very young child. You can have the goal of consistency and you can have the goal of setting aside time every day. But getting results quickly isn't a goal you can have when you have a baby and you're in charge of keeping that baby alive.
Consistency is definitely my main goal. I just
Yeah.
get frustrated with how long it takes me because I am the slowest.
Yeah. And I think that's okay. And I think everyone here gets that. There's plenty of things that I beat myself up about for not getting done very quickly. Like the things I want most in my life, you guys don't see any of that because it's slow, slow, slow going for me. And sometimes the consistency is not there at all. My biggest dream in the entire world is to be a novelist, and I can go 3 months sometimes without adding any words to the novel. And that's like having a job, having two jobs, and having two children. So I think with this thing that you're adding on, consistency and showing up here is like the biggest thing you can ask for, and everything else will come by the end of the year if you keep up with the consistency. Deal?
Deal.
Okay. All right, love you so much. This next student finished a full video and it's so fucking good. We were so excited because she's a naturally great storyteller. She's also in the process of sending the video out to her client. She always loved video, never thought she could do it outside of making TikToks, and she entered my orbit because of Devin's Super 8 education. But now these days, Devin has a full Super 8 course inside of Hybrid Hub. So if you're interested in Super 8, you should also join Hybrid Hub. So also this student was having an issue with digital video because she was saving her videos on cards that she was formatting by accident just because she didn't know where they were saving. So she's moving past that roadblock now. In general, just wants to get more creative with digital video and Super 8. Before you go into your spiel, we're doing co-working every morning, and Rachel showed up to co-working today saying she wanted to get this film done by Friday, and she posted it today.
This is true. This is true, which is great because I have other stuff due Friday. So now I'm
Awesome.
ahead. So
I love it. I'm super proud of you. And then everyone messages me and they're like, why do you spend 20 minutes on backing up your files and file sorting at the beginning of the editing lessons?
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful. That does suck. This isn't my first time hearing about it. I would be more empathetic to everyone else if it was. Okay. I think what that brings up for me, that would benefit the whole group, is when we're talking about expanding our skills after we've already added the simple thing to our business, that's something that's really exciting. But if you're sitting here like, oh shit, I was just planning on adding one thing, like, should I be doing a bunch of different types of video? No, just add one thing at a time. Don't let yourself get in that trap of shiny object syndrome and thinking you have to be doing everything under the sun. Rachel's been practicing Super 8 and she's just like adding digital because she practiced in a controlled environment of a styled shoot I put on and realized it was actually really easy for her workflow. That's where I want everyone to get in the practicing phase, but don't feel like you have to do everything. I've had plenty of students go through my older courses that were a lot more simple and a lot more me just talking about digital video. And they came out doing like Super 8 and camcorder and everything I told them not to do. So I actually don't care what you do, like just do it. With all that said, one thing that's exciting that maybe you all would want to add later that Rachel and I have been talking about is the possibility of just adding a roll, meaning like your subjects talking synced to their microphones that they have on. So if you're into elopements and you have your couples and it's just a couple reading love letters to one another or their private vows, having another camera on a tripod recording them doing those vows, having that be like the storytelling through line on your timeline with music under it, and then you cut to your Super 8 footage throughout that film. I find that very exciting and very easy. So if that excites you, we should talk about it. Oh, Julia, unmute, girl. Julia said, I realized that I didn't say my blog. I'm thinking marketing for video and being consistent with blogging. Welcome to the club. Welcome to every photographer. This next student is in a place where up until now her business has pretty much been referrals and word of mouth. And so switching to a system of attracting strangers through a marketing system just feels really new and scary. She feels like she's understanding SEO focused marketing, but it feels like a lot to implement. Yeah, I feel that all the time. I go in waves and in seasons. Any of you that were here in November, mostly Abby and Rachel, a little bit of Tiffany throughout November co-working. I have had a block with short form content. Like it's just something about it right now feels very difficult for me to show up. And I think when we go through these seasons of like something feeling like there's a blocker there, it's easy to be really harsh on yourself and it's easy to like beat yourself up about it instead of sitting down and asking yourself like what would make this easy, what would enable me to be able to do this, what's the simplest version of this thing I want to do, and how can I just take messy action and do it so that I stop beating myself up that it's been so long since I posted. So with that said, tomorrow phase 4 drops. That is the marketing phase and marketing system. And the great news about this group is we can all hold each other accountable. So say you have an on month with blogging, but you haven't posted as much, you still did something that will hopefully give your business more visibility. The goal of marketing is for people to be able to find you. And sometimes it feels like the goal of social turns into getting validation. So like to me, the number one emergency in the business is if someone's searching for what I do I show up? For me, I'm at the phase of my business where the answer is yes, like pretty much always. So when I'm falling off of my social media marketing a bit, I always have that in my head of like, if someone's looking for me, they'll find me. When you're not to that place yet, then that should be the goal. So right now, if the question is, what do I focus on? You have a full-time job, you're like, what should I like really focus on this month when I do have time? It is figuring out how to come up in search when people are looking for you. And in the season, when it feels like a blocker right now, it's okay, now that's my one thing I'm focusing on. How do I make that thing easy? What's going to make me do this? Maybe that's a co-working buddy like you have with Gabby sometimes, right? Maybe it's templates. I think you snagged a couple of those, right? It's what will make this easy? What will make me do this? And I know you can do it. Deal?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. This next student asked about adding videos to blog posts and loves how on TikTok she can answer questions that feel like they pertain to the blog. So she's wondering if that's the type of content that can also go on YouTube. Yeah, yes.
Perfect.
No, questions are perfect because if someone's asking you on TikTok, they might be like typing that into search on YouTube or Google as well. So answer it on your TikTok. And then also answer that on YouTube and embed that YouTube video into your blog post.
Okay, so like make a new, like a separate video.
Yeah, why not?
Perfect.
Why not? To me, it's always yes and. And if you'll do it, do it. If you don't stress it.
Perfect.
I'm trying to think of a good example. So you were doing a series that was like Colorado wedding venues, right? So a question someone might ask, so that could be a blog post, like best Colorado wedding venues. Maybe you embed that video into your YouTube. But then maybe you make a YouTube short that's answering the question of like, is this venue dog friendly? Is this venue wheelchair accessible? Those are things that if you answer those questions in that blog post, then that might get you at the top of Google when people are asking that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I didn't think about making them as shorts and then making like a separate longer form video. That's a good idea.
Yeah, and to be completely clear, I don't actually remember if you can embed shorts, but like it's just an easy way to do what you're already doing, you know?
Yeah, I've seen people have like a pop-up, like little floating head on their website. I wonder if that would work on a blog. I don't know.
Maybe, but it's just like a yes and. If you have that short, then that leads someone because you can connect in YouTube itself. We're getting nerdy, sorry. You can connect the short and say it's the same subject as one of your playlists or that it's connected to a longer form piece of content. And people who are like really used to YouTube will click on those videos. And then in your description, you probably have that blog post linked in the description of the YouTube video, right? It's just what do I want people to do next from this piece of content? And to me, you want them to click that link from that piece of content. It's very clear in it that you want them to press the contact button. So it's just like, where am I putting people from each piece, you know?
Yeah, like constantly guiding them to the next thing.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And I'm very excited about this project because I'm doing something similar. So if you guys want to be YouTube weirdos together, hit me up. This next student asked about my personal preference for blogging tools, and we opened that up to the rest of the students. Squarespace, Showit, Narrative, WordPress. There's a lot of options. I'm not a snob. I'm not a tech bro. I'm not very techy in general. And for years, I've always had like friends in the education industry who are like big deals who like tell people like very strong absolutist opinions on things. And I know for a fact they're getting paid by those companies, you know? So when anyone is like, show it only, like you have to use show it, like they're getting paid by show it. Like don't listen to them. And maybe way back in the day, they were like the best for SEO. But I've been ranking using a Squarespace site since probably like 2018. I have had one-on-one coaching students get to #1 for their keywords using Pixie set sites. So don't worry too much about the tool or overthink what you're using. Just use what you have really, really well and be consistent with it. You can do it. Yeah. This student asked if I'd be willing to rip apart her blog posts and website pages. Yeah, you guys own me for the next year. Like I'm your bitch. So you need to use me however you want to use me. So if you have website pages you need feedback on, or you have a blog post you want feedback on, post that in the community. There's a space called marketing where you can post your marketing, and I will send you a Loom video going over every bit of it. So, to me, it's like whatever you're putting in, if you're pouring into the community, you're going to get that energy back from me. So, I've got you. I'll tear you apart, Julia. I'm in. I'm down.
Great. Love it. Do it. Thank you.
And Danielle's so nice. Just DM her if you have questions. She'll literally respond to you. And that is it for today, friend. Be sure to leave a review and screenshot that review and send it to me at Hybrid Hangout. I'd also love to see the episodes you're loving in your stories so I can share and say hey and thanks for listening. Basically, I just want to be friends. I will see you soon.
Beautiful, gorgeous, perfect rack